Hello and welcome to Grace Creative's online session number 4. My name is Desiree and I'm the director of Grace, and we are coming to you all the way from the big island of Hawaii. Aloha. So you might hear chickens or dogs or birds in the background. Hopefully it's not too distracting. I think it's kind of a nice background noise, but today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making yarn balls. So these are really fun, just decorative balls that you can put around your house. You might have seen them before, but yeah, we're going to be doing that today. So I'm going to be going over all the materials that you're going to need. So lucky for us, the materials needed for this project are fairly simple. Starting over here to my left, I have yarn. I chose to do 3 different colors as well as some twine just to add a little bit of texture. You're also going to need balloons. I have 9-inch party balloons here as well as water balloons. 5-inch party balloons will probably work the best. This is just what I had laying around. I also have a half a cup of water here that we're going to be mixing with the glue, a Saftey Pin or a Tack to pop the balloons later. And then over here to my right, you're also going to need glue or Mod Podge. Between 2 and 4 ounces should work just fine. If you got a kit from us, you should have some pre-measured out Mod Podge in 2-ounce cups for a total of 4 ounces. You're also going to need a bowl for mixing the glue and water together, as well as plastic gloves. These are optional, but this is a very messy project, so it's nice to have gloves so that you don't get glue all over your hands. And on that note, it's also very helpful to have a plastic tablecloth down. If you don't have a plastic tablecloth, you can also use a plastic garbage bag and just lay that down as well. Because we are going to be getting the glue and water all over the place. So the first step of this yarn ball project is fairly simple. You're just going to want to grab your balloons. I'm going to do 2 of these smaller water balloons and then 1 of the larger 9-inch party balloons. But the thing to keep in mind as you're filling up your balloon is that you're going to want to be creating as round of a shape as possible. So as you fill up your balloon, you're going to want to kind of squeeze the air down so that you get more of a round shape and less of the oval shape that the balloon turns into. And you're going to do that by just squeezing the air down as far as you can. And then once you have it squeezed down, you're going to kind of twist the top and then tie it with the extra room that you have. And you're going to do that same process with the water balloons. The water balloons are a little harder to do, but again, you can just push that air down. If it's a little oval, it's okay. It's still gonna turn out and look good, but just as much as you can, try to get more of the round shape with your balloon. So just take a few minutes and fill up your balloons, and I will come back with the next step. So hopefully you were able to get your balloons all blown up. If you were, then we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. The next step, you're going to need to put your gloves on because we're going to get a little messy. So go ahead and put your gloves on, and then you're going to need to grab your Mod Podge and your water, and we're just going to mix these together. So if you have these little 2-ounce cups that we gave you, then you're going to want to mix those together with water using a 2-to-1 ratio. So you're going to go ahead and dump your Mod Podge into the bowl, which I've already done mine. But go ahead and mix those 2 2-ounce cups, which equals 4 ounces of Mod Podge. And then you're just going to want to take 1 of the empty cups of Mod Podge, fill it with water, so you have 2 ounces, dump that 2 ounces in with the 4 ounces of Mod Podge, and then just use your finger to kind of mix it up so that you get a nice liquidy substance here. If you're using glue, you can do a 1-to-1 ratio. Glue's a little bit thicker than Mod Podge, so again, if you have 1 ounce of glue, you'd use 1 ounce of water. The Mod Podge is a little bit thinner, which is why we're doing the 2-to-1 ratio. But just spend a few minutes and get your glue or Mod Podge mixture done. And after you do that, then we'll move on to the next step. So moving right along here, what you're going to need for your next step is going to be the yarn and the glue mixture that you just made. And all you're going to do, you're going to want to first unwind your yarn so that there's no tangles in it ahead of time into a nice pile on the side. And then after you have it all unwound and in that nice pile, you're just going to take it little bit by little bit and just dip it into the glue mixture. I kind of just set it down gently on top here. Just kind of run it through your fingers so it goes down nice and gently. And then after you have it all gently laid in your glue mixture, you're just going to take a few minutes and take your finger and just kind of push it down into the glue mixture here. I'm just going to go through a couple rounds so that I can get it all covered. Just get all that yarn into the bowl. You are going to start noticing that glue and Mod Podge is just going all over the place, which is fine because we've got gloves and a tablecloth down. So again, after you have it all laid down there, you're just going to take your finger, just kind of press that down, and you're going to notice that it soaks up a lot of the mixture, which is fine because we're going to be straining some of that out. So just push it down in there all the way to the end to get that end nice and covered. And then after that is all done, you're going to start taking the yarn out. You're not just going to take it out. What you're going to do, because we want to use more of this mixture, is you're going to kind of just pull the yarn out and you're going to run it through to your fingers. You don't have to push down too hard, but just pinch it very lightly so that the excess Mod Podge and glue mixture runs off of it. And you're just going to make a pile off the side of the bowl. And you're, again, just going to run the whole thing of yarn through your fingers here until you have a nice pile off to your left. So go ahead and do that, and I will come back with your next step. So hopefully you were able to get your yarn all covered. After you've got your nice pile of yarn here, the next thing you're going to do is grab one of your balloons here, and you're just going to start wrapping the yarn around the balloon. So just kind of take it, wind it up, might be a little difficult to get it started. You might want to hold that end down as you get started, and then you're just going to kind of rotate the yarn around the balloon so that you get a nice shape here. And you'll notice that if you kind of rotate the balloon around, then you can kind of change the direction. And yeah, you're just going to keep wrapping that yarn around the balloon just so that you get some nice coverage all around the balloon. And you're going to do this process with all of the yarn and all of the balloons that we gave you. If you got a kit from us, again, you should have 3 colors, different colors of yarn that you can use. If you have the twine laying around your house, or if you have extra string, then you can go ahead and do more. You can really do as many of these as you want, and you can really do these as big or small as you want. If you have enough yarn, you can blow that balloon all the way up to 9 inches or 12 inches or whatever else. I've even seen people make lampshades using this method, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, you're just gonna kind of cover that balloon all the way until it's completely covered with the yarn. And then you're just gonna kind of tuck the end of the yarn underneath one of the edges here. And these do take quite a while to dry. You're looking at between 24 and 48 hours, so I might be wearing some different clothes by the time I come back with the next step. But yeah, just get that tucked underneath nice and tightly. And then yeah, I would recommend just leaving your yarn ball out on the table to dry like this. So when I did it at the office, I actually put a fan on it to help it dry a little bit quicker. But you're just going to go through that same process with the yarn and the glue mixture and the balloon 3 times, or just getting through all of the materials that you have, and then lay them out to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and go through. I've got my blue, my maroon, and my twine, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap the rest of my balloons, and I will come back after I get all of those done. So it took me a little while, but I was able to get all of my yarn balls done. I'll just show you. I got 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. That's the white one that I did with you guys. And then 4 here with the twine. So got them all done. They're nice and heavy. I'm just gonna lay them out and let them dry. Again, they're probably gonna take between 24 and 48 hours to dry. So I'm just gonna leave mine here overnight, and we will come back tomorrow and see how we did. Aloha! As promised, I wanted to come back and give you the final step of this project. It's been about 48 hours since I did my original yarn balls. They take a little while to dry here in Hawaii. My little mini water balloon yarn balls turned out pretty good. The balloon actually kind of popped on its own, just shrunk down and detached from the yarn, and I was just able to pull it out from the middle. My 9-inch balloons didn't fare so well. I popped them and they kind of caved in a little bit. I think that's a result of the latex being so thick that the yarn kind of stuck to it. But I have had this happen before on a project, and what I was able to do is just stick my finger in there and detach it from the yarn, and then afterwards stick my finger in and kind of reshape it. So if that did happen to you with your project, or if that does happen to you with your project, you can salvage it. You're just going to need to let it kind of shrink down and then pull it out and reshape the yarn ball. But the 5-inch party balloons definitely were the ones that were recommended. We were just unable to find those for this project. And the water balloons also worked as well. So if you're still at the beginning phases, you might want to just stick with the water balloons if you don't want to deal with all of that. But if you want to give the bigger ones a shot, I did have a few turn out. So but yeah, lesson learned. Not everything always works out as we plan in art and in life, and that's okay. We roll with the punches. So anyway, hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, and we're so happy that you tuned in for another Grace Creatives project with us. Again, my name is Desiree, and Girls Rising Above Child Exploitation is a nonprofit that serves trafficked, exploited, and at-risk youth ages 12 through 21. And we're very grateful to be coming to you today on YouTube. So blessings, and we'll see you next time.